And we've got an Aurora game. All pretty good into Aurora. I think we're just keeping the basic list. Mental block's just firmly stuck in the main deck. I would board it out for if I had anything I want to run more, which I don't, basically, so it's just staying. Not really much else to it, to be honest. That's actually not a bad start to some degree, because that's all my healing potions. Meaning, like, they're not going to get stuck and make me block really badly, I hope. They shouldn't. The key thing really is like what's coming out of any of this. Like, I think we're fine here. Yeah, they're not throwing a full hand, which is not surprising for Aurora to some degree, I think. So this is pretty good. Only thought is whether they both block, so I don't think I even need to Surgeon particularly. I still could. Yeah, go on. I don't mind cycling those through for a point of damage. She's got AB3 and some Spell Void. So there's the chance that she prevents one like that. Like, that's great for me because I'm going to redraw all these cards. But like, honestly, like, double healing potion starts really good to some degree because now there's none in the deck. So I'll just be like fully set up after this turn. I mean, you know, there's a rampant to replace in there as well. This is all pretty good. This is also good. So we'll block with that. And then we'll mental block to eat the last of it. So they're trying snatch multiple times this turn, I'm guessing, which is fine. Stonewall is literally played as an Iron Rot in most games, and it's just to stop things like Snatch so that they don't get to draw more cards. I could maybe have let the Snatch hit, to be honest, since they had a card in hand anyway, but like, that's almost certainly going in their arsenal. But I don't really want to take the risks on that. So my only thought here is I've got a Ponder token. It's very likely to hit something, so I'm probably going to take a life off this. It's a hard choice because putting that in Arsenal would be perfectly good. But I'd rather have one in the bin for later, basically, for pluming. The Ponder token, as I say, there's 3 cards in deck that cannot land. Interesting. Alright, they blew up the... I now understand what they're doing. Yeah. Okay, they denied me a card, so that's sad. Could have kept them both, but, you know, no way to know. have enough to decompose with. So we'll do that red root bound. The choice here is whether or not I want to just block things or whether I want to do things. It's a difficult one because there's not much in the graveyard. I can throw a Mind Warp and threaten their hand. Which I think is what I'm going to go with. It's kind of a difficult one because the root bound carapace is not a bad choice at all. So this will take a card off them. I'm almost certain they'll just AB it, but that's kind of what we want. Just makes them throw a card away. It's worth remembering as well that our life total is basically 37 to 38 here because these healing potions are lurking around and I will crack them before I die unless something goes horrifically wrong. This gets interesting. See if I can prevent the card draw on that and have a lovely time. They have one card left. Do I backskin is the question. I think so. I think it's worth a backskin here because it means I can keep the Command and Conquer. That's going to give them a very weak next turn. I'll be playing out the Sigil and asking the Command and Conquer basically. The fact that we're on equal life and I have the 2 healing potions in pocket feels really good. I've got a felling and I've got enough stuff to use the felling, so that's also good. They're going to get to draw cards this turn. There's not much I can do about that. Really just is what it is. I'm going to hold this a tiny bit longer. Okay, multiple CLV in plays is actually kind of good for me in that they're cycling this through, but they're unlikely to pitch enough to keep them. They might keep one, but they certainly aren't keeping both, because they're not going to pitch 3 lightning cards. Seems fine. And another mental block. So we just need to keep 2 for the Command and Conquer, basically. That's kind of what we're going to go for. One of the reasons I really like yellow fruits, because it pays for about half the cards in the deck, which puts you in a good place. Very likely that bird up's going to hit this turn. I'm going to let it hit now, to be honest, because there's no better time. Apparently I don't get ponder tokens this turn. I mean, it's fine. So I'm not going to get very much mileage out of the Command and Conquer here. But we still throw it because it's 6 damage. It's keeping our life totals tight. I am, as mentioned, slightly ahead. Apologies for the dog, who cannot behave himself. This hand contains something. Don't know what it contains. I mean, the Rampant's good because it can get into the arsenal finally. And they've only got a 4-card hand, so I don't think it's a bark turn, skin cashing turn. Though it's almost tempting. Like, I'll get a good lot of mileage from it. Decisions. I think we keep it because there's no great lines through to play it, or waste one probably, and I'm not convinced that's multiple fours. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Would love that to be a life gain card, but we can't have everything. Or another blue would have been good. So we probably just take everything this turn. We'll use the root bound, but just trying to think with the hat, if I'm honest, because I could do this without the extra blue. This basically would do, I can do amp 10, or I can do amp 8 and not use the plume, so I think I'm just going to take the amp 8. The amp 8 feels worth it. I think giving up two amp for an extra 2 life and keeping the plume is actually fairly worth it, basically, rather than trying to go into a double rampant combo. It means I can basically fish a rampant straight back out and potentially combo a second time. Like, that's going to hurt them a lot. They have very little hand. I'm now very far ahead, and I'm basically actually on a full setup again. Would love to have decomposed those last two. Do I block anything? That's my question. It isn't the best hand. But I think we keep this. We can threaten a surgeon on them. And the only thing I'm wondering is, could I can't throw a lethal because they've got AB3, right? If I kept my whole hand, I could pick something up. I could like go AMP3, but I can only throw like 7. It's not doable at this point. I think this will threaten a card off them is kind of the main thing. Multiple cards by the looks of it. Sorry for the dog. There we go, I took some cards. That's basically perfect. Give me some blues. No. Fine. Snatcher of Go again. We will block out like that. I could prevent the damage, but then I'm not going to get to throw this Mind Warp, which is what I really want to do. Why don't we just take that? I almost kept the tree to keep this around on the turn, but I think this is basically done this turn for the most part. Like, I really want to preserve that last bit of life. I'm just trying to force their hand empty at this point and hope that I find something to kill them with. I mean, yeah, this is going to be bad for them, I suspect. Okay. Got one card in hand. Assuming it's a blue, they can AB3, which means that would eat this, so they'd take 5. That should be game. Oops. should be dead. Unless I've vastly miscalculated things. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, that's the Aurora game. They're either fast enough to kill you or they're not. They didn't get a particularly hot turn, and I was quite careful to try and dismiss, you know, snatchers, try and stop some of the CLV. You know, Aurora gets massive turned out of either some nonsense go again combo or out of drawing 6 or 7 cards a turn. And if you can keep them off the 6 or 7 cards, it's not really that bad. Like, what was their biggest threat in here? Like 14s? You know, 14's completely manageable. And, you know, I got 20s out of some of my turns. It's, you know, it's a huge deal, basically, in terms of value. You know, it's very reductive, but you can break this game down to value. Whoever has the most value wins, loosely speaking. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. I'll see you in the next one.